Hey everybody, uh, it's Thursday night. It's a couple of minutes after 7.
Per our
Or as
usual.
we say, it's 7-ish. Because according to Stephanie, we do everything around here on the ish.
We do.
So that means it's time for Thursday Night Live at the Gun Shop. And we have an information-packed show tonight.
Yes.
This has been, it's just Thursday and it's already been a week.
It has.
Couple of all-nighters and
Eric Ferguson and Kevin and Kim Warren. Good evening, guys. How y'all?
Kevin and Kim, nice to have y'all. Eric, glad to have you, as always. What?
Matt Woods
Mm-hmm.
says you look like a naked mole rat. Who would Matt Woods be?
I remember that in the morning.
Uh-huh.
I will remember that in the morning. I do look like a naked mole rat or,
You do not.
the southbound end of a northbound dog or something. We had a major oops.
It happens.
And guys, I'm putting Miracle Grow on my face every morning. I'm hoping it'll come on back. I know this is scary. Got any more popping in?
No, they're
So, anyway, waiting on a few people to get.
Eric wants to know why do you like not having your beard?
No. Now, I've had multiple people told me it did not help my level of beauty. However, I did look about 10 years younger. So I don't really know how to take that.
I just say you look like your dad.
Well, I mean, you saw me, my dad, and my brother in here side by side today.
And you know what? Your dad cannot deny either one of you.
The only thing we were missing was Dakota.
Yep, he looks just like y'all too.
And I think that's the first time my brother's been here in the 8 years I have.
No, he's been in. He was in here a little bit ago,
Was he?
a couple months ago.
I don't remember.
He was.
Um,
John Miller said, "Who's the new guy?"
that's enough from the peanut gallery. Be careful, John, or we're going to go out for some roast pork.
Uh-oh.
Barbecue pork.
Barbecue pork. We do love our pork around here.
Unless it comes out of Washington. All right, guys. As people are getting logged in and logged on, it has been a week. I'm going to tell you it's been a week. Last week we were talking about kind of getting screwed over in the Ways and Means Committee with the Hearing Protection Act and the language they tried to replace it with. And we talked about the fact that, Silencer Central has been spending a lot of money lobbying against Second Amendment rights, trying their damnedest to prevent the Hearing Protection Act from getting through.
Nathan Smith probably will enjoy it with that Tennessee humidity, and he said he likes it.
Well, I'm going to tell you the whole thing, so I can get the story out of the way, is I went in there to shave this part off because it was getting to where it was worrying me. I was just going to keep my mustache and goatee, which you guys have seen many times. However, I didn't have my glasses on, and I reached down and got
The wrong guard.
the wrong guard for my clipper, and stuck it on it. And rather than going, trying it on the side or something, I just went right down, just started right up the middle. And I was like, oh, God.
You could have tried that Lemmy thing.
I guess it'll grow back. No, I can't just do that thing where your mustache comes down like that. I can't do that John Rich thing or Lemmy or.
Grant has that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Grant can do it.
And Grant can rock it.
He can.
But this Grant can't.
Tommy Grant can't. Cantrell.
So anyway, yeah, it was an oops.
Yes. All right. Back to the.
My good friend Scotty Howell, I walked up behind him last night. We went to Scott's on the square for a few minutes. Just wanted something different to eat. Hadn't been over in a good while, so walked up behind my buddy Scotty Howell. When he turned around, he jumped off his stool.
And his son didn't know who he was.
I was sitting there talking to Levi. And I've known that kid since.
Yeah. He didn't know who you were.
I think Kayla had to take 2 or 3 good looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty. It's not good, but it'll go. It'll grow back. Anyhow, so last week we were talking about Silencer Central and members of the Ways and Means Committee. Basically, just screwing us over.
Yeah, and the one that said that he wouldn't.
And refusing to budge or to give ground. Well, last night, the bill had made it through to the Rules Committee. It was Rules Committee. And I'm not sure what time it happened because, frankly, I was trying to listen to it. It was an all-night session.
I think they said they were at it for 20 hours.
I don't know exactly what time the amendment came out, but there was an amendment brought out in the Rules Committee that restored the Hearing Protection Act as written. And we'll get into what that means here in a minute. So it was voted it passed the Rules Committee, went to the entire Senate. Not Senate, House. Went to the House. And it passed the House by 1 vote. Mm-hmm. I think it was 215 to 214.
And didn't they say that every Democrat
voted against it?
Voted against it.
So now that will go to the Senate. This is where the fight. We've got today to celebrate getting the Hearing Protection Act restored into the reconciliation bill. But we got to be right back at work. I know my good friend Chris Todd is in D.C. right now. What all he's doing there, I don't know, but I can assure you he's doing something that's good for the people of Tennessee and people of his district.
Definitely.
In the Senate, we have an opportunity. We got half the battle. We got half the battle with the Hearing Protection Act. Now we got to get the Short Act. Okay? So let's talk about what's the Hearing Protection Act. What does that actually mean? The Hearing Protection Act, in short, does this. It takes silencers out of the NFA. It takes them off the list of NFA. That don't mean it just does away with the $200 tax on store-bought silencers, but you still have to go through the backgrounds and fingerprints and photos, like the Ways and Means Committee brought it out. What that actually means is that 90 days after that bill is passed, gets the president's signature, the you'll buy a silencer. You can buy a silencer just like you buy any other gun. You walk in, pick it out, fill out your 4473, take it home. No $200 tax, none of this other malarkey.
Nope.
Okay? It's not a done deal. So don't,
Not yet.
right now where we're at, because people got pissed and they did something about it, and they wrote letters and they sent emails and literally shut down the phones at the Capitol. There was such a huge volume. Finally, the whole pro-gun, the whole pro-rights, the whole conservative movement, the silent majority, finally spoke up, and it created such a thundering, rumbling explosion
Yeah.
that the politicians caved in.
I had a gentleman call me today to ask some questions about suppressors, and he said that he calls at least 5 times a day. At least.
Well, I guess I must be calling somebody, because I got a text at, let's see, I got to put my glasses on to see this, y'all.
And Will Wood said, "You light that beard on fire?" He said, "Looking good."
Yeah, I did. Will, I saw where I missed a call from you. I'm sorry. I don't know if I had passed out, if I was in the middle of something. I just never saw it. I apologize. So let's see. I got a text at 5:59 this morning from a young man on David Kushtoff's staff. And, look, I will say this. Don't like what he did. He did vote for it in the end. He said if it was amended and the Hearing Protection Act was put in, he would vote for it, and he did. And I'm actually just going to read you the text. So we just passed H.R. 1, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, with Congressman Kustoff's support in the House of Representatives. It includes Section 2 of the Hearing Protection Act, which would remove suppressors from the NFA entirely. It also includes policies to make Form 1 and Form 4 tax stamps for suppressors free as a backup for the very possible eventuality where parliamentary removes Section 2 of the HPA is not germane. By the he says bird bath, call it the bird rule. But I think we've gotten around that. I think that language is crafted so that I don't think they're going to be able to use the bird rule. We will keep pushing to get the best deal possible across the finish line in the Senate, which we hope includes full removal of suppressors from the NFA. I encourage you and everyone you can get involved to contact our senators and stress the importance of suppressor policy and reconciliation, and urge them to do what they can to include the Short Act as well. We could not have gotten this far without Congressman Kustoff pushing to have a win for suppressors. Okay, I can see where his camp would say that, and I'm not going to completely argue with it. Included in the Ways and Means product to get this ball rolling. Man, I've been at work for 24 hours, so I'm headed home now to get a few winks of shut-eye. But that was from a young man, and I hope he doesn't get offended that I read the whole text. But
I'm sure you will.
in David Kushtoff's office, I will say this: in the end, he voted right.
Will said, "Your good man just wanted to talk some hand loading stuff with my teacher."
I'm sorry I missed it. I would have enjoyed it. So anyway, guys, tonight's coffee. Let's get that one out there. Tonight's coffee, we're drinking FAFO, and you can figure out why. Because they did.
They did.
They fooled around and found out. When you piss off the silent majority and it finally stands up, we get things done.
Yep.
And guys, it's got to keep going. Now we go to the Senate, okay? I'm already reaching out to senators. I know other people are. We've got to get a senator that will sponsor this short act as an amendment to the reconciliation bill. And it's going to take the continued avalanche of support that's happened for the Hearing Protection Act. If we keep that level going, the Senate's got to hear us. They've got to.
They do.
I'll be honest, I was texting with Chris earlier, and I'm like, well, while you're up there, if you happen to run into Marsha Blackburn, I would sure like to have a conversation with her. Chris said he didn't know if she was up there right now. He didn't know if he'd see her this visit, but he would see what he could arrange. And I know he will. He's just that good a guy.
He is.
So, we've got to start fast, do it often, blow up phones, emails, everything that you can do. Because we're never going to, guys, we've never had this chance since 1934, and it's 2025. It's the first time we've ever had this type chance. And if we lose it this time, hell, we may never see it again.
It's true.
And the benefits of these bills, most people can't imagine. They just don't, they haven't sat down and thought about it or thought it through or haven't had the reason to. But if you ever sit down and think the ramifications of this all the way through, it's huge. You talk about safer guns. Mm-hmm. Why do I say that? Well, Tom, how's a shorter barrel gun safer? Okay, let's think about this. When you're trying to maneuver a gun around in a shooting house, mm-hmm. if you're hunting, a little shorter rifle makes it a lot nicer. You're not liable to knock somebody in the dang head if you happen to be hunting with a friend.
Yeah.
But let's think about smaller people. Let's think about our kids. Let's think about people that are paralyzed, that are having to use attachments on like wheelchairs and other things to be able to get out and enjoy this. Okay? It lets us build smaller, lighter rifles with today's cartridges with very low recoil that can allow these people to enjoy the sports that we take for granted and the things that we're able to do. They can get out there and have a level playing field without having to pay special taxes and go through all kinds of stupidity. It's not going to make it more dangerous. That's bullshit. There's no other word for it. It's just,
being a little, kind of short myself. Really long guns, kind of.
One of the things we spend a lot of time every fall doing is trying to size guns up for kids trying to get started. Mm-hmm. And we run into these requirements of, it's got to have a 16-inch barrel, and it's got to be 26 and a half inches overall, and it's got to, and some of that's just too heavy for some of these kids. They're little.
Some of that stuff's too heavy for me.
And, you can craft rifles mm-hmm. for those people that they can handle confidently and safely. Okay? Granted, if we're talking about kids, you're going to have an adult right there with them and that kind of thing. But still, they need to be able to handle the gun confidently and safely. And when we can do the smaller, lighter, shorter guns, and we can put a suppressor on it and keep that big wall of sound from hitting them, it just makes everything so much better. I was outside just a little while before we come on air, and I was thinking about things, and I thought, why? Between 1934 and 1921, there was roughly 2 million silencers sold in the United States. From 2021 to 2025, 2024, I guess, 2.1 million silencers have been sold. What changed? I was thinking about that. What changed? And I think one of it is people my age, and maybe some that's a little older in that age group, you know, we've blown our hearing. A lot of us have. We've blown our hearing.
I can attest to that. I can, be talking to you and you not even hear me.
And we start looking for better ways, better things, better tools, better methods for the young ones coming up behind us to keep them from experiencing, where when they're 55, they can still hear and not go, huh? Huh? What? Or just sit there and look at you because you have no idea somebody's talking to you. I mean, I may do a whole show where we just sit down and list out the advantages.
Scotty hopped in to see us.
Which one?
Mr. Howell.
There's Scotty Howe. I was just talking about you. And guys, June 14th, Elks Lodge in Trenton, Tennessee, Sammy Day.
You need to be there.
Okay? I can tell you for sure there are going to be some really cool guns in the auction.
Uh-huh.
There's going to be a raffle gun that'll blow your mind. And again, this year we are doing a very special rifle, one-of-a-kind rifle, just for Sammy Day. And Scotty, about 15 minutes after you and Travis left, may have been 30 minutes.
Yeah.
The receiver came back. So
It did.
it looks nice. Can't wait to get that put together. And so I think the auction starts at 6, something like that, or we'll eat at 6 and auction at 6:30. But if you guys have never been to Sammy Day, you ought to come over and enjoy it.
We have shared and will continue to share.
On that.
Yes.
Wonderful cause. It funds scholarships and for kids here in Gibson County that are pursuing animal sciences, I believe, and that type career. It's been a really great program. It's well administrated. It's done in memory of a wonderful little girl. And I can tell you, if you want to have a good time, come over on June 14th. We will have us a good time and some good eating.
Definitely.
We'll have some of that there barbecue pork, won't we? Have some of that off the pit.
Good stuff.
Yep. I'm sure Cooney will be cooking again this year. But anyway, getting back on topic, we've got to rally around, and we've got to have this huge push like we have on the Hearing Protection Act as we go to the Senate. One, to protect the Hearing Protection Act from some of these idiots that are going to probably try to strip it out. And two, to get the Short Act in. Because if they're in there, they stay in there. If that gets to the desk, the president will sign it.
He will.
And the way that's being done, they're going to have to move mountains still and do it.
That's a good thing.
You know, it also mandates the destruction of the records that they have to date.
That's a very good thing.
That's Form 1s and Form 4s. Those records have to be destroyed. So, Hearing Protection Act is included in the Senate's bill, voted on and passed the Senate by one vote. Now we go, or the House. I'm sorry, I keep saying it's the House. I've got the Senate on my mind because that's where we're going to be fighting next. It goes into the Senate. We've got to get somebody up there. And guys, I would tell you, let's get on the Tennessee senators and see if we can't get, let's push them as hard as we can and try to get them to sponsor the Short Act as an amendment to the bill. Then we can call it one big, beautiful bill.
Yes.
So those we will be popping on. We'll be talking a lot about that. If it's something you want to keep up with more often than I get on and keep it fresh, you got like Jared over at Guns and Gadgets and Brandon Langley over at Langley Outdoors.
Mm-hmm. Both of those are on YouTube.
Yeah, they're both on YouTube.
GOA.
GOAs. Those are three excellent sources of information because when they bring you information, they're bringing it with the evidence. They're not talking out their butt. They're not making stuff up.
They've checked their facts, and they don't release any information until they've got those facts.
Yeah. It's journalism, really the way it should be done.
Exactly.
So those are good sources of information. There's a lot of information out there on the internet. Those are three that I tend personally to trust. And I still say trust but verify, but those are they come with what they say now, come with the receipts.
That's correct.
So those are just good things. Hey, and on a positive note.
You've got positive.
Another positive note, the NRA has stood up and showed out on this hearing protection thing.
They have.
They have jumped all in with both feet. They actually act like a pro-gun organization. So I bash them and I beat them up.
But when they do good,
but they've jumped in on this, and and fighting for the Short Act. And they have showed out, and just like they need to. So kudos to them. Now, another thing that happened this week. I'm telling you, it's been a busy week.
it has.
Anybody's keeping up with it. Forced reset triggers, FRTs. The government, DOJ, settled the case with rare breed triggers. And forced reset triggers are legal. However, it's not really a great settlement. Mm-hmm. I can understand why Rare Breed would have accepted it. I really do. I mean, they've been fighting this for how long?
A long time.
But in the settlement, there's some clauses that aren't necessarily good for the rest of us. By the terms of the settlement, anything that remotely resembles the patents held by Rare Breed, if anybody even does anything that remotely resembles it, Rare Breed is required to automatically sue them for patent infringement. So they're, basically they got a monopoly out of that deal.
Yeah.
There's also a clause in there that says these triggers can't be made or used in handguns. So if you've got, the way this settlement reads, if you've got an AR pistol, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and you put an FRT in it, you're probably still in violation of the law. The way that settlement reads.
Yeah.
You put a 16-inch gun, or even an SBR.
Yeah.
Looks like you should be fine. So that's a couple of, kind of gives Rare Breed on that forced reset trigger. It kind of gives them a monopoly.
That's the way it sounds.
Of course, I know there's people going to be looking for different ways to do it. There's a lot of innovation and a lot of people looking at different things, and then you got things like the super safety and whatever. But those were not necessarily great parts of that settlement.
Right.
But as of right now, you can put an FRT in your gun as long as it's a long gun. Not a handgun. So, like I said, if you're out there playing with, your AR pistols and stuff like that, I would not be throwing videos of FRTs in action on my AR pistol.
Nope.
That would probably not be wise. And I think that is all the politics stuff for the moment.
All right.
Lordy, lordy.
You did that in about a half hour.
Back piece of sad news. We've been losing companies in the firearms industry.
Mm-hmm.
Watchtower is now out of business.
Goodness.
I think at one time it was F1, then it was bought out and they called it Watchtower, and now Watchtower is gone. So that's
Is that the company that we talked to? And
yeah, when we were shot. We were doing
they were doing good stuff.
Yeah, we was with Jared, and then we was talking about doing a collaboration rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, things apparently just didn't pan out for them. They are now defunct. So that sucks.
It does.
And I'm afraid there's going to be more that sucks. We do know that the Kinetic Group, which is part of Vista Outdoors, Federal, CCI, Spear, Remington Ammo, are now wholly owned by a company out of the Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
But we are, I think, getting another ammunition manufacturing facility in Oklahoma. And it's the group that has MagTech.
John Miller said more of a reason to support GOA and TFA.
That's a fact. That is a fact. GOA, Eric, I bet Eric's a zombie right now.
He has to be.
He's been on at least a couple of 24-hour ones this week, and every time you look up, he's in the middle of something. But those are warriors. They're warriors, and they're out there and they're fighting, and they're defending people's rights and getting our rights back that have been stolen from us, and
Yep.
we owe them our support. And TFA and GOA are scrappers. We just need to give them our support to keep scrapping with. Now, would you go down there and get me one of those new Ruger 2245s, please? What?
Scotty, last one today.
There's two more
Oh,
back
two
there.
in the back. So I'm going to grab one from the back because
Will you
there's not
please
any.
grab- Please.
Forgot about those.
Guys, Ruger's just done something really neat. The 2245 Ruger pistol, of course, most of you know, it's a great handgun. You know, it's built off, there was Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, now we're at the Mark 4, and then we got the 2245. A lot of it's the same, more or less idea. Same thing. Of course, Mark 4 changes a lot. And this is a 2245 Mark 4. But, things have gotten expensive. And, it's not uncommon now for a good 22 pistol to be $500-600.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not uncommon. And Ruger comes out with it's basic 2245. It's not a lightweight, it's full steel barrel, full steel upper, but it is threaded half 28. Okay, nice long set of threads, get good purchase.
I can tell you what suppressor looks really good on that.
The little bird from AB.
The AB little bird looks amazing on there.
If you want to, grab one. But the gun comes like you see. With the adjustable sights, it comes with the silver rail and silver trigger. Of course, the traditional 2 magazines. The easy takedown, that's just the signature of the Mark IV series.
And we love it.
I don't know if I'm supposed to do this on air or not.
It's okay. Do you want me to do it? I think you're okay.
I don't know if I'm supposed to do that on air or not, but I just did. Don't that look cool?
Yes, it does.
Look, just nearly seamless right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the AB Little Bird, for those wondering. Amazingly quiet little can.
And John said very affordable. That goes for both of those. Those
Yeah,
are both
that's
very affordable.
One of the things I want, Ruger, like I said, it's not uncommon. If you go look at like some of the 2245 light stuff that's out there, it's $600.
Yeah, mine was.
Some of them go a little more than that if you
know.
get into the custom colors that are.
I know.
But here, you got a basic black pistol with silver accents, threaded barrel, adjustable sights. Of course, it's full steel gun. It doesn't hurt thing.
Mm-mm.
And these things are less than $400.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with Ruger for bringing this out. Let's getting quality guns where people can afford them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fun and affordable to shoot as well.
yeah, 22. We all know it's the cheapest thing out there to shoot. So the little Ruger 2245, I guess value series. I don't know what they're calling it.
I don't either.
But yeah, that's a gun I was really happy to see come out and get a hold of some, and it's a gun I think you'll enjoy a lot.
Oh.
What else has come out in the last little bit? Oh, they've done a 1022 version of this too with a threaded barrel. It's a black stock, black gun.
Mm-hmm.
Pencil barrel, threaded half 28 on the end with a scope base on it.
Do we have one of those?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Want me to get it?
It's down there.
Down there.
It's down there.
Down there.
Down there somewhere.
No, not it.
Kind of thought it was on this side. What's that right next to that Bagara, the big heavy Bagara? What's on this side of it? Come back toward me. The big Bagara right in front of you. What's on the side? What's beside it? What's that?
That's a Savage.
Oh. I can't really see it from here, but anyway, everybody knows what a 1022 looks like, but
Yeah.
it's made on the same line, black plastic stock. That particular gun's got a pencil barrel, half 28 threads. Those sights, there it is.
It's cheaper than the pistol.
Yeah. So, just another version of the 1022. I started calling this one the builder's version because it's just about cheaper to buy this to try to find an action if you want to build up a custom rifle.
We got a few questions. Ricky Hazelrig wants to know, can you change the upper from a standard to a threaded barrel?
On what?
And Eric says, have y'all seen the pillbox suppressor that pairs real good with the Card 22?
Yes, the pillbox, as they're calling it now, is kind of a throwback to an old AAC can that used to be around called, if I remember right, it was the Stinger.
Wasn't one of the little Eris look?
And then,
Work on there?
yeah, and now you got the little Eris from Taxol. So,
My favorite Adrian has joined us.
Mr. Hilliard is in the house.
Yes.
That's a nice thing. That's a nice thing. But yeah, guys, these are some things Ruger's doing. American-made guns at a very reasonable price. This gun's under $300.
Yeah.
Well under $300.
That shocked me when I picked it up.
A threaded barrel and all. So Ruger's doing some really nice, some stuff that, give budget-friendly gun, quality budget-friendly guns.
Right.
There's plenty of junk out there.
He asked on the Mark IV.
Oh, this one is threaded.
Can you change the upper from a standard to a threaded barrel?
Yeah, Taxol makes, yes, you can get an upper from Taxol. Don't know about Ruger, but if it's 2245, yeah, you could take, and it's a Mark IV, the upper should interchange.
Yeah, I think they do it, and...
But I know Taxol makes one,
Oh, goodness, who am I thinking of?
and they make one, I think it's even intricately suppressed.
Who's the one that does the Mamba? Volcourt?
Yeah,
They're expensive.
I'd rather have the Taxol.
Yeah. And there's Aaliyah.
Well, hey, Aaliyah. So,
By the way, his Dr. Pepper is brought to you by Sonic this evening.
yeah.
Half price.
Tough world. You got to save it where you can.
That's right.
So anyway, guys, trying to think, is there anything else new that's come out this week that would be really cool to show?
I wouldn't say it was a new gun, but it's an interesting gun.
Which one?
The Wilson.
Oh.
We have this that. No.
We do have, if anybody's interested, we got a really nice, one of 500 Wilson D77 Phase 1s.
Project 1.
Project 1, I'm sorry.
You want to see it?
We can show it.
It's a beautiful gun.
And they are a high-end pistol.
Oh, yes.
They can run about 75. Hell, if you look online, if you find one for sale or find one that just sold, they're seem like all of them I've seen's been 82 to 85. But yeah, the Wilson,
I would say that's the most interesting thing I've seen this week.
the 77, phase 1.
Aaliyah said Bubs is extremely puzzled. He's judging pretty hard on this side of the screen.
You know, I was wondering if he would even know me. Kai didn't. Felipe and Kai came in today. And where normally first thing happens is Kai jumps in my lap.
Not today.
He stood behind Felipe's leg looking at me.
And John said that's like number 4 for today. Tom loves those Dr. Peppers.
But yeah, beautiful gun.
I love
Very
the bronze.
limited run. And so we do have that here.
So we went from one extreme to the
Yeah,
other.
we went from the value gun to the Ultra Gucci.
Yes. Anything else you can think of? We've got a lot of good used guns in this week.
We do. Right now we got a lot of great inventory.
Yes.
And in the morning I'll be turning in a bid on about 300 more. So hopefully we get them in, get them processed, get them out, and we'll have everything out for National Defiance Day. Which, by the way, this year will be be toward the end of June.
Yes, let me.
June
27th and 28th.
June 27th and 28th will be National Defiance Day this year. And we're going to make it bigger and better than the previous years. So you might want to mark that on your calendar to come on by and visit with us. And
I don't know, we finished a really cool gun for one of our customers, the PS90.
yeah, but I don't have it to show.
I have a picture of it. That's all I got. I know we don't have. I wish we had it with us.
Yeah, we just did a short barrel conversion on a PS90 and with custom Cerakote, and
Everybody was calling it
The
Stormtrooper.
then we ended up suppressing it and putting a aim point. One of the upper end aim points on top of it. Come out as a really, really nice package.
It was. I'll try to post a picture of it tomorrow.
And guys, I'm be honest with you. I've been studying so hard this week on reading the FRT decision and trying to digest it. Be on the phone with different people and sending emails and sending text and in the fight on this Hearing Protection Act and trying to tune in and watch what was going on in the House. And today, trying to gear up, have that minute of, oh yeah, but gear up and start the fight in the Senate to, one, keep the Hearing Protection Act in there, and two, get the Short Act added.
Yes.
So, and it's going to take all hands on deck. It's going to be a fight.
Keep those calls
So,
going.
People across America have stood up in numbers never seen before. And if we will continue to do that and stand together, we will have a much better place for all of us.
P. Smith said thank you for all you do.
Man, I'm one guy. Hopefully, if I can get other people to jump in with it and help, that's what it's about. Spread the word. I spread it to you. You tell your friends. Try to get everybody involved. And we're going to have a couple of big announcements coming out soon. I don't want to get ahead of myself on those, but some things we've been working on. And it's been a long time coming and finally starting to fall in place. And I think you'll excite, some of you guys may be excited about it, and some of you going to care less, but that's okay. We're going to get excited about it. We're going to share it with you, and we can go from there. I will say this: if I'm not trying to sell, but I'm doing a kind of a quick survey. If any of you guys have an interest in doing and having a rifle, custom rifle in 500 A square or 50 Peacekeeper, I can see that we're going to have the ability to build a few. But I need people to. I'm going to have orders on them. This is probably not something I'm just going to throw. We're going to have to get blanks. We know we can get blanks now. We know we can get the right twist. We know what twist we need. It looks like Hornet. A company that starts with H will be able to supply dies.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's got some interest to you and you want to holler at us, please do. Holler at me and talk to me. And I'm going to tell you, they're fun.
Nathan said everyone needs to remember what Monday is about. I know people
Amen.
on here do. We
Um,
agree.
Guys, a highlight. Maybe you'll be able to hear this. It's not the one I need. This is the one I need. This will be what we play for our radio.
Freedom is never truly free. This Memorial Day, let us pause to remember the brave men and women who have selflessly paid the ultimate price for the freedoms we cherish. Their sacrifice, their unwavering dedication, and their profound courage have secured our safety and protected our way of life. Let us honor their memory by reflecting on the values they fought to defend. This moment of reflection is brought to you by WHMC Gun Shop in Humboldt. We join you in paying tribute to the fallen heroes and express our gratitude for their service.
That's what we'll be running from tonight all the way through Monday evening. So, let's remember and be thankful.
Yes.
Remember and be thankful.
Nathan Smith said awesome.
But guys, I know tonight's show's been a lot on the political and the law stuff that's going on, and unfortunately, sometimes we just have to talk about those things. It's only responsible for us to talk about those things and get people ready to stand up and fight for their freedom.
It is
and
an
to get their
important
freedoms
part
back.
of
Because
the
if
Second Amendment
we have,
community.
If we lose these, people have in the past thought, if we, we can give up this or that. That don't affect me. Everything is interlaced. Everything affects everything. And right now we've got a unity within the 2A community and within the conservative community to get as a whole that I've never seen. I don't think anybody's ever seen.
Yeah.
And we have to use that. We have to make sure that those in Washington hear. So for tonight, we're going to go ahead and sign off. I promise you I'll have a more interesting show for you next week. We will try to avoid, we'll give you updates if there's something that we really need to get in there and talk about. But I would try to have something really, really cool with shooting and hell, who knows, we might even shoot guns or something next week. We'll shoot guns in the house or something. I don't know.
In the house.
Yeah, we'll do something.
Whose house?
Here.
Not sure Lance would go for that.
Just don't tell him.
I think you'll find out.
I mean, this is only us and probably 3,000 of our closest friends going to hear this. So,
Yeah.
guys, I'll tell you what. This is going on, of course, WHMC's Facebook page, which you're watching on now if you're watching. And there's going to be, several people tune in tonight and tomorrow and through the week. And we thank you and we appreciate you. We're also going to be on, this is going up on the YouTube page. We need people to, what is that thing?
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell, like, subscribe, put comments.
Even if they're bad?
I mean, yeah, you send me a picture of you flipping me off. I don't care. Make fun of my shaved face. I don't care.
Oh, they're still doing that. Got Chris Lawler, the last one. I didn't read it.
Okay. It's okay.
It is.
It is. It's good. I'm glad they have me to make fun of and somebody else is getting a rest. But anyway, we'll have something a little more exciting and peppy for you. But understand, guys, we are on the cusp of something that has long been thought impossible. Hell, a month ago, we didn't think it could happen.
Chris said put a can on it. He won't know. Kirk said we can film it live from his backyard.
Which Kirk?
Kirk Smith.
Okay. So we'll do something exciting next week. But anyway, felt like you guys need to know this, and we need to be together in this, and we need to be going forward. We need to be, letting the politicians know they work for us, guys. We're not their subjects. We're not peons. We're not.
They work for you.
We're not something for them to walk on. Matter of fact, it says the citizenry shall instruct the government.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually our job to instruct them on what we want done. So if we're not instructing them, then whose fault is it? Yeah. Now, when we start instructing them in a loud tone, in an overwhelming tone, not necessarily a mean tone,
A lot of phone calls.
but when you start shutting down switchboards and making people close their offices because they just can't handle the volume, and they got to run away.
Yeah.
Which was it? Yeah, Fitzpatrick. Is that what his name was? That's sometimes how we have to instruct, and we have to keep it going. And at the end of it, we come out in a much better place than we were in the beginning. And we do it because we stand together under the law of the Constitution as freeborn American citizens demanding the rights that have been stolen from us back. With that, I'm going to say, God bless America. God bless you. See you soon.